So many Chelsea fans are not really happy with the realization that our darling Victor Osimhen might not end up at Stamford Bridge because it looks like it's not going to be happening despite all the calls from all quarters and canvassing for the owners of Chelsea to actually buy Victor Osimhen. A Nigerian and Chelsea legend talking about John Obi Mikel. He's been waxing lyrical about this. He's been talking tough, canvassing, and of course, marketing Victor Osimhen in the best possible way for Chelsea owners, but it looks like they are not having it. And of course, Didier Drogba at some point talked about the abilities of Victor Osimhen, what he can bring to the squad. But at the end of the day, the owners of Chelsea are doing what they feel is right for the club, and that is holding on to the strategy and template of what they are operating at the moment. Now, when you take a look at Chelsea critically, you will realize that the new owners of Chelsea are operating a model which is called the youthful model. Now, this is different from the model being operated by the previous Chelsea owner. Now, for this particular youthful model, the owners of Chelsea are more on building a young squad and developing stars who they believe can win major trophies in the future. Not just that, they are also nurturing talent who maybe in the long run can also be profitable in terms of sales. And this is the sort of strategy they are operating at the moment. Unlike the previous Chelsea that relied heavily on signing superstars, winning trophies, and having success almost every year. But for these new owners, they are more on organic growth. And this template has affected their wage structure. It has affected the way they pay these players, and this is where the problem is for Victor Osimhen and Chelsea. In a nutshell, Chelsea cannot afford to pay Victor Osimhen what he wants, and Victor Osimhen cannot lower his wages to fit into the wage bill of Chelsea. Now, it is so unfortunate that no matter how good you are as a player at the moment, if you cannot fit into the wage bill of Chelsea, they are not interested. I mean, no matter how good you are, they are not interested. You must fit into the wage bill for you to be a player of Chelsea, because the new owners of Chelsea actually are prioritizing performance bonuses over high wages. Now, take a look at the wage bill of Chelsea in terms of the wage sheet of Chelsea. You can see, I think for Raheem Sterling, he was a mistake. I don't know what the owners of Chelsea were thinking when they gave him this particular salary, but that was a mistake. For the like of Reece James, he wasn't signed by the new owners of Chelsea. As you can see, there is no player at Chelsea that earns more than £200,000 a week. And what Victor Osimhen is asking for is more than £200,000 a week. And the new owners of Chelsea, all they are doing is to make sure that they bring down the wage bill of the club and instead focus more on the performance bonus. So when you do well, they can add some things for you in terms of your contract and what you sign with them. So Victor Osimhen knows his worth. He believes that I cannot lower my wages for anybody. And Chelsea owners believe also that we cannot shatter our structure, we cannot shatter our template for anybody. And that's why they decided to go for Liam Delap, who is cheaper and also won't take much when it comes to wages. And also that was why they had a stalemate with Jadon Sancho, who decided not to lower his wages to fit into the wage bill of Chelsea. So as I pointed out earlier, no matter how good you are, if you cannot fit into the wage bill of Chelsea, it means you are not getting signed. So don't take it so personal. If you're a Victor Osimhen fan, don't be so emotional about it. Don't feel like Victor Osimhen is not good enough. Don't feel that Chelsea, they don't know the worth of Victor Osimhen. Definitely, they know the worth of Victor Osimhen. If they don't know the worth of Victor Osimhen, why were they going for him in the first place? Why did they decide, okay, we want to sign this guy? Why were they negotiating in the first place? It's because they believe that this guy is good enough and we can get him to the club to actually help in what we are doing. But at the end of the day, it is business. For Victor Osimhen, he's not going to play football the rest of his life. So he has limited career span and he must make good use of it. And that's why he needs the money. You must pay him his worth according to him. And for the owners of Chelsea, they are operating a business and they must keep the business, going. So they cannot decide to, tweak things because somebody else or a player somewhere decided not to sign for them. So that is why we are at a stalemate as we speak. It's all about money. It's all about the wages. It's all about, matching the worth of Victor Osimhen. And for Chelsea, they are not willing to do that. So if you're a Victor Osimhen fan, as I said earlier on, don't feel emotional about it. At the end of the day, whichever club that feels that they can afford Victor Osimhen and pay him what he feels is worth are going to sign him. If there is no club in Europe that will sign him, then definitely he might end up out Saudi Arabia. After all, if money is the problem, Saudi Arabia are willing to give you the money. So if there's no club that can afford Victor Osimhen, then he goes to Saudi Arabia. But for Chelsea, wage structure is what is limiting them or stopping them from signing Victor Osimhen. It doesn't mean that Victor Osimhen is not good. He's a good striker, of course, one of the best strikers in the world. as we speak, and he has this hunger, and he also always want to succeed anywhere he goes. Chelsea want to have him right there because they need a clinical striker, somebody that can actually get in the goals, especially now that they're playing in the UEFA Champions League and hoping to contend for titles. But weight structure, the templates that Chelsea is operating right now, which is focusing more on youth, is the reason. Focusing more on youth, which is also affecting the weight structure, is the reason why Victor Osimhen is not at Chelsea. It's not because he is not good. Now, what do you think about this particular model that Chelsea are operating, deciding to go for more youth, build them for the future, to win trophies, and of course to sell them for profit? Do you think it's something that will last, or you think this is just like chasing shadows? At some point, they are going to stop it and start going for the top stars. What do you think about this particular useful model of Chelsea? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and do not forget to like, subscribe, and also share this video, because I'm going to be dropping more videos of my insight based on the latest football trends around the world.